Good afternoon. It's almost noon. I'm waiting for that big whistle to blow in just a moment. And I've got my sage going because we're going to clear our space. Hopefully, maybe, right? But we got our sage bundle here. And giving a clearing to you. I'm kind of fix my curl here. And then I'm going to give a clearing to me. I always like to use my hands. I don't, to smudge my hands, smudge my lips. Ooh. So that I speak with integrity and truth and authenticity. And there, just in case you missed some, here's some more for you. There. Okay, go ahead. Take that and kind of go like this. Bring that smoke, allow it to metaphorically kind of work around you and clear you. It's a cool thing to do. But I got the Angels and Ancestors deck out today. I thought, you know what? I feel like hanging out with them. Doing a little reading before I get my next client in. Had a good morning so far. I hope, okay, there we go. We got our first ones. I hope everybody is having a really good day. It's going to be a beautiful weekend, I believe. Not too hot. Maybe a little humidity with that. But my husband commented he came home last night and he looked out the back door and he was like, dang, the backyard's green. And I'm like, yeah, well, we have a chicken, first and foremost. And then after that, we also, it's rained. So yeah, there was a lot of good, there we go. There was a lot of good, okay, and there's that one. So there was a lot of good in that rain, and it made our yard look so pretty. My chickens were like happy. Scarlett in the front was glad that she wasn't like having to scratch in dry dirt, I guess, I hope the chickens like where we moved to. Okay, alright, so I'm going to pick up those cards, don't go away. We actually have a pretty big selection of cards that came up out of the Angels and Ancestors deck. I'll just kind of set that right over there so you can see what the box looks like. For those of you that love to read, or you want to own the cards, that's the deck. It's by Kyle Gray, and it's called Angels and Ancestors. And this is our first card, and it's the drum. And the drum is about putting dreams, which I was just finished playing my drums, so I'm kind of laughing. But this is about, the drums is kind of like where you start putting your dreams into action. Where you start putting your dreams into action. And so this energy coming in is saying, okay, now you're now given a canvas to start creating, like if you were painting a picture. And so this energy is pretty strong. It's allowing us to be within our creativity. It is allowing us to be within our creativity. And the obstacle is the shift in perception. Okay, so let's talk about the shift in perception. The shift in perception is what I'm going to call your ego. So how often do you have this wonderful, you get this really creative, really intense, beautiful idea, and then you start talking yourself away from that idea. Like, oh, I can't do that. I'm not good enough. Oh, I can't paint well enough. I'm not pretty enough. Whatever it may be, you're discounting your ability to do something. So that's why when we look at this card, shift in perception, and it's in a in the obstacle card coming after that drum is talking about you putting your creativity into work, putting your dreams into a reality. And this guardian card is talking in reference to that about shifting your perception, making you feel, or your self-talk stating that you cannot accomplish that goal or you cannot be a part of that dream. Now, if that was our obstacle, our beautiful part here is that our sense of reality, and that will end up going, okay, I wasn't going to say higher self. Okay, ego, shush. Shutting down the ego and allowing our authenticity, our committed self. If you have that dream of being something great or doing something great, and you allow your ego to step in and start, negative self-talking or dogging you, there is your higher consciousness that awaits, that is going to work at bringing you back into your reality and letting you know that you can create your dreams into that reality, that you can bring forth where you're wanting to go or what you're wanting to do. So it's a very doable thing, a very doable process. And then all of this, you actually do start to carry through with your dreams and journeying, your creative self. That actually begins to shapeshift, manifest, come through. I got a little feeling of like bleed through, but I'm not talking about like blood, it's kind of like when something bleeds through, like behind a picture and it starts coming up to the surface. That's what I'm looking at through here. So our authentic self begins to surface and become alive. Now, you have this little tendency here that of going overboard and going very, very deep into your projects, into your projects, and that you may have the I don't even want to say opportunity because it's not an opportunity. You may have that tendency to go a little too much overboard and get too deep into it that you lose focus on other things. So this is about bringing in your wild self, or your self that tends to escape, that you need to keep that very much in control. And the reason I'm saying that is that it's coming. We've got shapeshifter right before that, and it flows into that she-wolf. And what I'm feeling here in this energy is that, all right, so let's say you open up a clothing boutique, okay? And this is just an analogy to kind of explain this energy. You open up this clothing boutique and you work really, really hard at getting it opened. And man, everybody knows your name in a good way, downtown. They've been by your boutique. They love your work. They think you're fantastic. It's trendy. It's very original, etc. Then you get to this point where you have this sense of thinking, and I'm going to say it like this, thinking that you're better than other people, and maybe you are a better designer than other people, but your intrinsic love self is going to be a little bit different, that you're going to forget about the little people and those things that got you to where you're going to. And so this is saying, yeah, you're going to have your dreams and you're going to be able to come forth through those dreams, but don't get so dang caught into it that you forget to be grounded. You forget to be grounded. You forget how to be connected, that you within what you're doing. So I like this. And because it is giving us this go-ahead for us to start living and following through with our dreams, but it is also giving this also, and I don't want to say a warning, I'm going to call it consejo, or, a little bit of, I'm going to give you a little bit of love and direction here. Don't get so caught up in how awesome that you are that you forget to be authentic, true, and grounded. Surround yourself with a lot of protective energy. Work on keeping yourself really grounded and balanced, because if you don't, you'll be on that tower and that tower will come tumbling down. Now, we got a couple of cards left. And I have a question. What is it that you are truly afraid of in being successful? What is it that you are truly afraid of in being successful? Is it public accountability? Is it private accountability? Is it responsibilities? What is it? Do you feel that you are not enough to fulfill those roles? So the Hunter card is coming in, and it's really asking us to examine what we have as our fears or weaknesses, because it's really important when we're working on our journey and we're working on being successful that we start to flip the frequency there and bring in a sense of strength to what our fears and weaknesses are. We've got to turn them into a strength. So if your fear is one thing, what's the opposite of it? And let's work at getting in that direction. That's what this Hunter card is saying. It's saying you really need to, it's really important for you to examine those things that you feel are as a weakness and turn them into a strength, so that they cannot be manipulated against you to kind of create a setting of failure. The end card is kind of interesting because it's talking about the mountains and standing your ground, but I'm looking at it as in being grounded and balanced. I look at it, we have what we see and what we don't see, what's above the ground, what's below the ground. And it being that we are, I want to use the word equal with that. So I'm going to, it's kind of like, equal. You want to be balanced. I don't know if anybody experienced this growing up, but my mother was kind of, she would kind of like, rah, 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 rah. And so she would just be, griping one of us out about something, whether we didn't take out the trash or our room wasn't clean or whatever. And she would be just like, la, 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 la. The telephone would ring and she'd pick up the phone and she'd go, hello. Oh my goodness, how are you? And we would sit back like, she's not even the same woman. Where did that come from? Okay, well, that's what this card is talking about. This card is talking about being the same person. Being the same person as you are in private, as you are in public. So I thought that was kind of interesting in the end card here, because it's talking about us really working through, like starting to implement what our ideas, or hey, thank you, what our ideas or goals, what our focus is, where we want to be. But it's also giving a lot of stress for us to be authentic and to work on our weaknesses in order to create them into a strength. And that holding on to our vibration and our authenticity is the utmost importance. So, yeah. All right, so I'm kind of like I think I know what this is in regard to, kind of moment here with my reading. But I hope you enjoyed today's Saturday Serendipity, and have a most wonderful day. Peace, love, and harmony. Don't forget to love my videos, comment something really cool and groovy, please, so I know you're watching. Oh, excellent. And then don't forget to share this stuff so that other people can tune in and get a part of something groovy. So, peace. Have a good one.